Hello everybody and welcome to JSmith Plays, another episode of MS Paint. I am JSmith and I am on the internet. Thank you very much for joining with me as we go down the jungle into the African safari of MS Paint and the world of art and all the things that go with it. What am I even talking about? I have no idea, but it is a jungle themed character today. Today, it's not the king of the jungle, I don't really think, but no, he's the leader of the bunch, and you know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. It is DK, Donkey Kong. One of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo. I beat Ryan and Nick at our race on the NLSS. At least the portion of the game that we did play. So I got farther in an hour than they could. So, anywho, we have our 15 minutes on the clock. We are going to set that, and in 3, 2, 1, go. So we are going to be drawing DK and his little friend over here, Diddy Kong. So one thing I do need to do is make sure I got some sort of a brown color for them both, but it's a little bit more of a red for Donkey Kong, I think. So I think maybe this will be a good color. Yeah, I think that's an alright color for DK. And this face will be, I think that'll be good for his face as well. So let's get a rough outline of DK here. So this is going to be his face. Over here will be his shoulder, and we need his hands down here. And so we got one fist just like that, and kind of come up like that. So he's a big guy, big old ape. And over here is his. Not really feeling that little bit right there, actually. So how does this work? His little shoulder. I guess it's kind of coming down and then over in this general direction. And he's got big freaking arms too. So that and the last little part right here before his other hand. And that should be fairly okay. That should be how he looks. I don't understand why his arms are crossed like that, but you know, if DK wants to do that, then who am I to stop one of the biggest apes in video game business? Who else is an ape in? Well, I guess like all the DK characters are considered like probably apes in the video game business. But other than that, you know, I'm thinking like maybe the guy from Rampage. There was Izzy, and there was a lizard guy. But there is another one too. There was a rat person, and also a wolf, right? I don't remember. Maybe no. It was a lizard, a wolf, and then a giant monkey, I think. Is that right? I don't know. It's been a really long time since I played the Rampage game. So he needs DK. I mean, needs his little boobs right here. But maybe we'll kind of fill those in a little bit with that and have him kind of come down there. So there's his chest. I like this as an outline. I think that's pretty good. He looks really massive. Like he is a big old freaking gorilla in this picture. Well, I guess he is just in general a really big gorilla, but like really kind of like husky in this one. But you know, what are you gonna do? And above him we need his compatriot Diddy Kong. So he's a little bit, I think. Is Diddy Kong darker or lighter than Donkey Kong? I think I'm gonna draw him like a little bit lighter. So I think, no, that doesn't. You can't even really tell the difference in that one, can you? So maybe that. Yeah, I think that's you can tell that that's lighter. So there's his one arm, and we'll have his hands be like this similar color. And I like this idea of doing the outlines first and kind of going in afterwards and seeing what I can do with that. In his face, just like this, kind of pops out, and he's happy. He's a smiling monkey, and head kind of pops up like that. And we'll make his legs come down to there, right down to his back. Although it's more like he's touching his shoulders, but can't really fix that. So in any case, that's just kind of going to be our Diddy Kong. And we'll make his belly or something like that. And maybe. And DK's famous tie, kind of going up and over like that. Maybe that'll be enough to kind of cover up a lot of Diddy Kong, I think. So in any case, let's start filling this in right here with our man Donkey Kong. So and we got 10 minutes to fill in like all the rest of the details, which I think should be a sufficient amount of time. But you know me, I've never been too good with this whole MS Paint thing. I'm trying to get better and better with every time, but you know, sometimes it's a little bit harder for me to do well. But I think overall this shouldn't be too terrible of a drawing, I hope anyways. But regardless, so let's get this in. Just like that. And that's good. Then the rest of his mouth kind of comes down just like this. And up and over. So we can get our bigger brush right here and fill this all in. And I'll go around the outside, maybe again with the brown, and see what I can do about making it just kind of, it doesn't look like it's crashing onto his chest region. Just making this a little bit wider up here. He'll need some eyes, which we'll do with white. Kind of looks really derpy there. So that's one eye. And the other will be just like this. And that's kind of derpy too, but it's DK. I think I'm allowed to have that. So bad. So bad. That's a little bit better, maybe. Okay. So still a little bit derpy, but, you know, what are you going to do with DK? He's just kind of like a big old monkey. Oh, that looks super good. I like that. I like that a lot. We'll get his nose. And his mouth is open and he's smiling real big. Just like that. And we'll get a dark red. And then a pink for his tongue as well. And we can fill the rest in with black. Oh, fill the rest in with black. Fill the rest in with black. There we go. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. All right. Now for his ear. Just kind of come down like that. Yeah, that'll be fine. And his other one is just kind of poking up over here. We got 7 minutes left to finish the rest of this in. And I think that's kind of going to be a sufficient amount of time. Let's just get his hair. A little bit of a flare here. And fill in the rest of his giganticism with some fur here. And just kind of like basic outlines. I don't think it's going to be too disconcerting if he's a little bit out there in case of, like, you know, his arm muscles not being big enough or not filled in enough. You know, it's supposed to be hair, so I think just a little middle mishmash of everything, a little bit more texture could be a good thing as opposed to a bad thing. Fill all this in just like that. That looks pretty good, actually. And coming down here to his leg. And I'm trying to make these go in a little bit different directions as well. So kind of going with his fur, you know, going down this way with his fur, and then going away from him with his leg. I think that's how you're supposed to do it. But regardless, let's get some of his hands in here. I'm just going to make a big mix mash of this kind of pale color right here. And I'll fill in the rest of the details after I get them in there. So back up to Diddy Kong. He's riding along his friend here, just on top. So we'll do that. Make him just kind of like that. And he's hanging on for dear life. Poor Diddy. Always kind of, you know, stuck on top of, on DK's shoulders. But I think that's fine. Alright. And I don't know. I never played too much of the other Donkey Kong games after Donkey Kong Country. You know, like not even the N64 one. I know all the words to, well, I know like most of the words. I know the introduction to the DK rap, but there wasn't really a song that I or really a game that I played a whole lot for whatever reason. You know, I don't know why. It's just me and the sequels to that game just never caught on as much as me. I think I just really just enjoyed the original game. I didn't give them much of a try. I never owned any of them, so maybe that's probably why. I played at my friends' houses, and they're fine. They're good. But nothing really kind of captured my imagination quite like the first one for DK Country. So let's get some eyes in here. And over like that. I did play a fair bit of Diddy Kong Racing, though. Why is Diddy looking so mad right here? I don't know. Let's just kind of make his eyes not as... I don't know. So I think the more of the angles the eyes are at, the angrier Diddy will look. So trying to avoid that, but I don't think that's going to work too well. So in any case, let's just fill in some eyes like this. Oh god, they're so good. And our mouth. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Kind of looks like he belongs in like Spyro or something like that. To get the red for his tongue. And it looks like he's also wearing a beret, which I think is hilarious. And I think that is pretty good. You know, Diddy does wear a shirt, so let's get one of those in here. And I don't know why he does and Donkey Kong doesn't. Like, Donkey Kong is really cool with just being in the nude. Well, he does have his tie, so, you know, he's not fully nude. But for whatever reason, Diddy likes to be a little bit more clothed. He's a little bit more civil, I suppose, than our good friend DK. And make that shirt kind of go up and around. He looks like he's wearing a beret. That's so hilarious. If I made it like that, maybe that is a little bit better. He does need a tail. He does need a tail. So there's going to be Diddy's tail. Well, let me even make that go off the screen. It's a little bit longer, I think. And he does have a star on his shirt. So we'll just do kind of like some sort of basic outline of that. And that'll be fine. There we go. Okay, so let's get some other colors in DK right here. And maybe we could do the same for Diddy as well. But I'm highlighting Donkey with Diddy's colors. I don't understand if... I don't know if that's like a thing or not that I should be doing, but basically going to do the same with Diddy here. So I'm going to be highlighting him with Donkey Kong's color. So, you know, giving them both like a little bit of a fur type of color. So no fur is obviously going to be the same color the whole way through. There's small little things that you can do to make it a little bit more personalized. So get like that. That's good. Now, we do need that tie. So let's get that going with us. So we'll have it kind of flowing down right there. But it's also going back and over here because it's flapping in the wind. DK really needs to not run with his tie. It's not very business-like to do that. I don't think any of my bosses previously would appreciate me running around. Well, maybe they would. Depends on how much of a hurry I'm in. I need this to be a little bit brighter of a red for Donkey Kong's tie because I don't want it to blend in too much with Diddy. I'll have to figure out a way to fix that. But regardless, I think that's all I'm going to be able to do. So we'll make the tie stretch out to over here. And eventually I'll draw DK on that tie with the letters that are imbued in it, obviously. And just kind of clicking all up, down, and all around. I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out, to be perfectly frank and honest with y'all. It looks... it looks silly and kind of weird, especially with Diddy up there, but for whatever reason, I think it kind of works. So, D, K. I'm not going to fill it in completely, but you kind of get the idea. We'll give it an outline, and maybe that'll help kind of differentiate between Diddy's shirt and Donkey Kong's tie. So I'm just able to kind of do that. Maybe that'll help. There we go. And just like that. Okay, so that's good. That's great. Now, for Donkey Kong's hands. This is a really large fingers that he's got going on. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do them completely, but at least kind of give him a start to kind of resemble hands. We'll give him some knuckles and even some things up here. Just like that. And over on the other side, we can get some more. It looks really like human hands or something, which is kind of disconcerting, since he is an ape. But apes just being like humans in general is kind of weird. I always thought. I mean, I understand, the whole concept of evolution. That's how things just are kind of made. But it's a little. It's kind of strange to think how these things aren't too far away from what we could be. And I think that's gonna be it. That is our Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Not as much detail as I'd like, but I think it is a fairly okay representation of Donkey Kong here. It looks completely silly and ridiculous, but also kind of hilarious at the same time. Like Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong were mixed up with some Muppets or something. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But thank you all very much for joining with me today. I had a whole lot of fun, and I hope you did too. I'm JSmith, and I'm on the internet. I'm here every single day on my YouTube channel. Other than that, catch me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/JSmithOTI for all my live streaming, and twitter.com/JSmithOTI for all of my tweets. So that's it for me for today. Thank you guys again, and I will catch you next time. Later.